Today we're talking about the difference between Summerlin and Henderson, and today I'm up in Summerlin. I'm at the top of Fox Hill Park, but we're going to be talking about Summerlin versus Henderson. We're going to be talking about the homes, we're going to be talking about the parks, we're going to be talking about the walking trails and the schools and the amenities, and we're going to be doing all of that right about now. Now today we are talking about Summerlin versus Henderson, and we are, like I said, at the top of Fox Hill Park, one of the many parks of Summerlin. Now Henderson and Summerlin both have a lot of parks, and those parks, they also have pools, community centers, walking areas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you over here. Now below me, of course, you can see one of the pools, but what I do want to show you is the walking trails, the homes, and the Summerlin Mountains. And why that becomes important is because when you are living in either Henderson or Summerlin, you have to sometimes decide you may not want to be in either. You may not want to be in Summerlin or Henderson, you may want to get out. Well, at least in Summerlin, you can go to Red Rock. And that is probably one of the most defining factors between the two right up front, is that in Summerlin, you kind of have extra. You have a place to go. You have Red Rock Conservation Area. You have all those mountains behind us. Once you get behind those homes, that's the Red Rock Conservation Area. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is that Summerlin and Henderson, they each have parks. Summerlin just has where 50% of their land use is recreational, as you can see below. So all these parks, in a sense, tie to each other. There's 150 miles, whether it's biking or walking trails, whether on the roads or in the community, attached to each other, that you can intermingle, which makes it very easy to access one community to the other. So the first defining reason that people normally live up in Summerlin is because of the recreational parks and the trail system that connects to each other. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you down here. You can see this kid's having fun. He's on this like rope that slides down. It's like a mini line, you know, that you just slide down. It's a lot of fun. But notice the size of this park. But notice the view of the Las Vegas Strip below. It's hard to see here, but it's down there. So when we're talking about Summerlin, we're talking about Henderson. And the next thing that we really want to talk about is, in general, is going to be, let's just talk real briefly about cost of living. Yes, it is a little bit more expensive to live up in Summerlin. Just like Henderson, Henderson also has an association fee. And in Summerlin, that association fee is $50. I'm gonna try not to fall down these steps. So that $50 pays for, everybody pays it. That's the minimum. And then of course, if you live inside of a town home or a gated community, a guard gated community, you'll pay a little bit more. But everybody pays $50, and that goes for the whole trail system. It goes for everything. I have a whole nother video called Living in Summerlin. You may wanna check that one out. It's a whole separate tour where I show you what you get for that $50. And as we're walking through here, what you want to notice is that when you live in Summerlin, like I said, it's not necessarily that there is such a huge difference, except you just get more for your lifestyle. So when we're talking about Summerlin, yes, they do have parks. I have a video that I have that is talking about, I have a video that is about, you know, living in Henderson, and I show you Henderson, I show you the pavilion, I show you the pool, I show you Henderson. But what you notice is that size-wise, you just always get more of it in Summerlin. You get more in volume, you get more in quality, you get more in quantity. And that's what makes Summerlin number one. Now I'm just walking down this park here. I'm gonna start heading down towards the school area. You saw the homes behind me. Now typically, yes, you're right, homes are a little bit more expensive in Summerlin, but you also got to talk about value, and they're actually not that much more. If you look at it on the whole, you're probably only talking about a difference of 10%. 10% more for your lifestyle, 10% more for the quality of life, and to get more and more and more. And as you notice, and we're talking about the difference between Summerlin and Henderson, is that yes, they do have the walking trails, but here it just keeps going. Like I mentioned, it's 150 miles of biking and walking, whether on the sidewalk or in the trails. The other thing that you're gonna notice as we're walking is that at night, this place is packed. I'm here early in the morning. I think I'm out here, I think it's like 8 o'clock, right? Very quiet, you know. But once again, notice behind me, you've got those mountains. So the first thing we talked about, Summerlin and Henderson, was we talked about, at least in Summerlin, even if you still want to get out of the community, you still have the whole Red Rock Conservation area behind you that you can tap into. On top of that, you still have walking trails and parks, just like in Henderson. You just get more of it. There's just so many parks up here. You've got the arbors, the trails, the canyons, the willows, the cliffs, cougar. It just goes on and on. I mean, it's just endless up here with the park system. And that's the beauty of Summerlin. Like 50% of the land use being recreational, they have some of the top golf courses up here. So when we talk about something like golfing in general, up here in Summerlin, you also have more golf courses. You've got, we're just talking about golf courses now. So you've got Bears Best by the Ridges. You've got 2 golf courses at Red Rock Country Club. You have TPC Las Vegas. You have TPC Summerlin. And you also have the golf courses out at Sun City Summerlin, which is a 55+ retirement community. So if you are looking to retire in Las Vegas, check out my videos on retiring in Las Vegas. You'll see some of those golf courses. So once again, we're talking about the difference between Summerlin versus Henderson. And like I said, some people say, oh, Bill, you call Henderson Hendertucky. That's a joke, like Hendertucky. But I used to live in Henderson, so I know Henderson very well. But that's why I also moved back to Summerlin, because being that I'm in the real estate industry, and by the way, just a disclosure is I am a licensed real estate agent here in Las Vegas. You can see my website, LasVegasRealEstate.org, online. You can see the homes in Summerlin or Henderson to see that slight price difference, but what you get for the money. So when you're talking about Summerlin versus Henderson, what's the value for the money? What's the value that you're willing to spend for your lifestyle? And once again, we've got the mountains, we've got the parks, we got the walking trails, and down below me is a school. So now check this out. Your kids can leave their house or the playground, come down the hill, and access one of the top-rated schools inside of the whole Las Vegas Valley. And when they get done and they walk out of school to the park, they have a view of the Las Vegas Strip down below, which lights up completely at night. So what we're talking about once again is Summerlin versus Henderson. Is one really better than the other? And the answer to that is probably going to be yes. And if it's already voted number one, the number one master plan community, there has to be a reason why. And I think that reason why is it was done by the Howard Hughes Corporation. They just do it a little bit better. The streets are a little bit cleaner. The traffic is better. If you've ever been on Green Valley Parkway in Henderson, oh my gosh, it's horrible. It's awful. At least here in Summerlin, you don't get that. And as I walk through, I'm gonna walk through this park. I wanna show you one more thing. The bathrooms. You gotta have good bathrooms. So we're at the park. And so, as you're talking about the difference between Summerlin and Henderson and lifestyle, is that you want the most lifestyle for your money. And that's what makes Summerlin number one, is people that come up here and live, and people who have lived between the two communities unless they have to live in Henderson. And Summerlin, by the way, Henderson was voted one of the top safest communities in the nation, by the way. Also Summerlin, equally. So regardless of where you're at, Henderson or Summerlin, extremely safe communities. But now, as we're walking through, you have to remember, we're up here at the park, And the public restrooms are extremely nice. We're actually walking through the breezeway of the public restroom, and you can see the building, how nice it is. But when you walk out, and let's just say you're going back home, right? Let's just say your home is one of those homes in this community up on that hill, or over here, and you're going back home, you can access it through one of the walking trails. And I think that's what makes it very unique and very beautiful, is whether you live in the trails, the arbors, the willows, up here at the paseos, these are the different communities, is inside Summerlin, is you can always walk home or sometimes even to the grocery store. Like I said, I have a video called Living in Summerlin, and I show you how I walk out the door, and I actually go to all those places. We actually walk right past the community center, the grocery store, the library, and go to the gym and get coffee, all in a 15-minute walk. So that's one of the beauties of a master plan community. So once again, we are up here, we're talking about the difference between Summerlin and Henderson, and the other difference that you're gonna find is downtown Summerlin. I haven't mentioned that yet. So there is an area called downtown Summerlin. I'm gonna show you some images of downtown Summerlin, and what I want you to do is notice that when you live inside Henderson, you are only going to get the district for the most part. In Summerlin, you get the whole downtown Summerlin. Downtown Summerlin is so massive, it's so large, it's like, you know, probably, well, and I think in the future it's gonna be like at least 10 times the size of the district, because they can keep expanding out there. And so that gives you a chance to have more restaurants, more social life, more of everything. So once again, we're talking about the difference between Summerlin and Henderson. And I think you really have to look at these items here, right? Should I go back up the hill? I think I will as I talk about this, right? Number one, downtown Summerlin is bigger and gives you more than the district, okay? So that's gonna be number one. If you wanna go meet with your friends or family, you're gonna get more social life up here. If you just wanna stay home and access the parks and the trails, you're gonna get more. If you want to have your kids go to the community centers, the pools, the this, you're gonna get more. So Summerlin just keeps giving you more and more. But then to end where we started is back at those mountains where I'm walking up to, is you're also gonna be close to the Red Rock Conservation Area, the beauty of the mountains, the beauty of Summerlin, and like a little escape. Am I getting out of breath walking up? That shows you how the condition I'm in, right? So I need to go get some exercise. So once again, I'm gonna show you this view, show you this beautiful sky again, because where can you get this type of a view and openness in Las Vegas? Well, right there is the Summerlin Mountains, and judging from where we're at, you need to make your own choice. So let me ask you this, leave your comments below. What do you like better between Summerlin and Henderson? Maybe you already live in Henderson. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I mean, I've lived in Henderson. I moved back to Summerlin. There's a reason why. It's just because I just feel like I get more for my money here. I get more of a value. I get more of a lifestyle. So if you're looking to maybe move to Summerlin, have questions about Summerlin or Henderson, go ahead, leave your comments below. Like I said, my name is William Margita. I have a website. It's called LasVegasRealEstate.org, and I'll pop that up here real quick. You can search for homes online. I can answer any questions you have about buying a home here in Summerlin. And once again, if you're looking to make a decision between Summerlin and Henderson, go on a tour of both. But one thing is for sure, come here to the top of Fox Hill Park in Summerlin, see what you get, then go to the next park at the Vistas, then go to the next park at the Arbors, then go to the next park at the Trails and the Willows, and tell me if you're not convinced that you also get more for your money here in Summerlin. So at the end of the day, all it comes down to is Henderson is great. There's nothing wrong with Henderson. You just get more in Summerlin. Thank you so much. I'm gonna see you on the next tour.